And we are live. Ugh. You ever had one of those mornings where, like, everything goes wrong? That, like, no matter what you do, it, like, screws up on you? Oh, here we go. Here's something else. What's this? Okay. There we go. Awesome. Now, that's okay. No big deal. I've had worse. We are officially in trouble. Well, I mean, not we, because we are prepared. Hopefully, everyone is prepared. Hopefully, everyone you know is prepared, as it should be. But I'm doing a video, a 3-hour video tonight on my Patreon channel. And it is like, does anyone know who Ray Dalio is? Like, if you do, then you know. Ray Dalio is in absolute panic mode. This guy looks like he's about to fall over dead. Tonight, we're gonna watch an interview he did. And it is, if you can read body language at all, this guy doesn't know what to do. During the interview, he is shaking. I mean, shaking. We're talking SEC chairman in front of the House Investigative or House Supervisory Board shaking. Did anybody see, which I'm sure you did, did you guys see the head of the SEC get bitch slapped yesterday? Oh, I did. I had to rewind it and watch it again. It was so good. Yeah, Gensler was shaking like a leaf. He was drilled. He was caught in lies. The Republicans put him against the wall, and they took turns beating the living shit out of this guy. Yes, I agree earnestly. He got destroyed. And as he should. This guy is going after cryptocurrency companies, but yet will not give anybody a definition or a straight answer of, is Bitcoin a security? Is it a commodity? Well, if you don't know which one it is, or you won't say, how do people know what the official SEC, not Gensler, his words are not official policy. He's screwed. Because now Kraken, Coinbase, everybody who they've sued has his testimony to use against him. All they got to do is go to court and go, Your Honor, this guy don't even know. How are they suing us for selling unregistered securities when they won't tell us what are and aren't securities? They're going to throw that case out. The SEC is screwed. The SEC is literally screwed. Right? He can't go after anybody. He cannot go after anybody because they don't have any definitions. You have to remember, law is definitions. If they cannot define what is and is not a security, they cannot charge with selling unregistered securities. You see what I'm saying? These are going to be thrown out. These are going to be thrown out. The banks are fully plucked. Fully, absolutely plucked. The commercial property market is plucked. Everything is plucked, and they know it. Bloomberg is flipping the hell out. Bloomberg Intelligence this morning. They don't know what to do. But remember what Bloomberg's market is. Remember what Bloomberg does. Bloomberg is a platform for the global and the connected companies to go on and get hyped up so their traders make more money. Remember, Bloomberg doesn't make his money off the shows. Bloomberg makes the money off the software and the terminals that all of the traders use. Ooh. But what if the traders aren't trading? What if, yes, absolutely, to listen to this number, 2.5 quadrillion in derivatives out there in the world. That's quadrillion, not trillion. Oh, not a mere trillion or two. A quadrillion is 1,000 trillions. What? So there's 2.5 of those out there. What are you supposed to do? They are more screwed than anyone's ever been screwed before. You talk about, right? Yes, I completely agree. Bitcoin should be priced over 2 million per coin right now in a logical world. Oh, that's true. And it's going to happen, my friends. It's going to happen. They are desperate. And I mean desperate. We are talking under the desk desperate, if you know what I mean by that. To save this system. But they can't. Wait, please, Lord. Wait till you see this interview tonight on my 3-hour, right? 3-hour video I'm doing tonight from 6 until 9 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go through and watch this interview, and we're going to point out Ray Dalio. Because the interviewer's like, so what are you recommending, Mr. Dalio? Mr. Dalio's like, make your own choices, but you can't hide in bonds. There's no safe bonds. You can't hide in treasuries. There's no safe treasuries. You can't hide in the dollar. It's being inflated away. And this guy broke his neck to avoid a question about Bitcoin. He looked like Frogger on Atari trying to get across this interview without touching on Bitcoin. These people, and look at Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is in full panic. K Street, if you know who K Street is, they're in full panic because oh my God, Janet Yellen is in full panic. They had a top secret meeting with the Treasury Department. Janet Yellen's like, hey, how's that Fed Now system going? And the Federal Reserve is like, not good. It doesn't work. It can't handle the volume, and we cannot get the banks all tied in to the system, the uh, the app's not working. The public app is not working. It's not integrating with other apps. We can't get it to work. See, they thought their great reset was not going to be for years, a few years. They thought they'd have the war. They thought they'd have COVID. They thought they'd have China invading through Canada by now. They thought a few nukes here, a sprinkle of poison here, and they'd have more time. But they never thought Trump would win. Or say it another way, they never thought she would lose. See, she's losing her ever-loving mind. They all are. Joe Biden, he's done. Hell, that guy's been done for years. They need to push him out and let him look at the birds out in the bird bath and have pudding. My friends, this is going to be sad to watch, but yet, in a strange way, it's going to be pleasurable. For those of us who have fought against this system of manipulation, this system of absolute manipulation, knew this day would come. We knew this day would come. But we tried to warn everybody. Get Bitcoin, get gold, get silver. Get out of the system. Get out of college. Now, if you're learning a trade, you're learning an applicable skill, different. If you're going to college for women's studies, not very marketable. If you're going to college for transgendered studies, how do you take a class on transgendered studies if the transgendered don't even know what gender they are? You talk about the blind leading the blind. Professor, what gender are we? There are no genders. Yes. If there are no genders, then how can there be transgendered? Well, you take a gender, but you just said there's no genders. You take a social, Trump sucks. Yeah. You see the circling firing squad that this is. it is, remember that movie, Idiocracy? Idiocracy, the movie, couldn't even think this shit up. See, if Idiocracy would have been smart, they would have thought out and been like, you know what makes absolutely no sense at all? Transgendered studies, where they teach that there's no genders. How can you transition from something that doesn't exist to something that doesn't exist? This, someone writes, I don't see Bitcoin hitting 100K until 2026. You must also be in a transgendered class if you don't think Bitcoin's gonna hit 100K in this environment when it hit 68K in a good economic environment. Not quite sure where you're thinking that. My friends, let me tell you something. I'm going to let you in on something. I have a call today, right? With a guy who owns a couple islands and is building a resort on one of them and wants me to help him to tokenize the resort. This is one guy. Do you think that he doesn't own any Bitcoin? Do you think his friends don't own any Bitcoin? Do you think that the idea of a person who owns several islands, do you think he's a little iffy on cryptos? I don't think so. We are at the precipice of the biggest global economic transfer of wealth. And I do not mean from one person or one group to another group. I mean from centralized currency control to decentralized currency network. See, we have to remember that the Bitcoin is the first time in human history to monetize energy directly, not through a commodity or human labor or debt. Let that sink in, and you'll understand why the world and Bitcoin are leaving this system behind. Thank you, Brandon. Let me say that again. For the first time in human history, we can monetize electricity directly into a currency. We don't have to use silver. We don't have to use gold. We don't have to use oil. We don't have to use any commodity. We don't have to use any human labor or any human debt to do it. See, the full faith and credit of the U.S. government is just a fancy way of saying we can tax the shit out of these people. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, exactly. Nikki D, you nailed it. Connect to a volcano. Connect to nuclear. Connect to Tesla technology. Connect to any natural power source. Solar, wind, oil, combustion engines, diesel engines, any type of power source, water. Exactly. Bingo. Frequency, energy, vibration. Tesla. Remember, all right, and I'm going to talk about this on the Patreon show tonight. What they just said, frequency, energy, vibration. That is what I call frequency friction. Frequency friction creates energy and mass. Frequency friction is how a woman, normally a woman, can use her voice and break crystal or glass. It's that frequency matching up with the frequency of the glass that breaks the glass. That is frequency friction. Now, at the core of the earth, you have frequency friction, pressure, and magnetism all meet at the same point. Remember, the earth has magnetic spheres and pressure and frequency friction. The combination of those three, here, let me scroll this up. Tom 369. The combination of those three, 369, produces matter. How was the world and the universe created? God spoke it into existence. You mean using frequency? Click the link under the video or go to patreon.com Bitcoin Ben, and I'll explain it all to you tonight on the 3-hour video. And we're going to check out some Ray Dalio basically shitting his pants. See you tonight at 6 o'clock on my Patreon channel. Love you guys.